Hi, I'm James Kennedy, one of the Schools and Colleges Outreach Officers here at Leeds Beckett University, and here's a few reasons why you might consider studying at Leeds Beckett. When you are looking for your higher education options, it's important to consider why you're choosing higher education in the first place. For some students, the career you wish to progress to simply requires that level of qualification. So areas within architecture, teacher training, nursing, physiotherapy, all of these are the types of accredited courses that we offer. For other students, you may not have a direct idea of what you want to do for a career just yet, but you're keen to better understand the subject you have a passion for. So, whatever it might be it business, humanities, social sciences, the arts, it allows you 3 years to better understand your subject, study it in further depth, develop far better graduate skills as an independent learner, and then start to develop a better understanding of what the job market is like within those fields. All the while, having the options within Leeds Beckett to take on work placements, volunteering, and study abroad options, again, to develop different styles and different skills that will help you in the graduate job market. Whichever way it is that you're considering going into higher education, it's important then to start looking at the further research of why you might want to go. For most students, they'll find actually it only not only opens up more doors to them and allows them to apply to more graduate positions, but often they'll find themselves working within a field that's related to the subject they have a passion for. So you're just going to more likely going to be enjoying what you do from day to day. Because you'll have higher skill sets as well, because you've gone through further training, it's also likely that graduates will earn more in their lifetime than those without a degree. These figures do vary depending on the research you look into, but the most popular one I come across is the one that shows actually about £10,000 more per year across your lifetime is what a graduate will earn above those without a degree. It also gives you more options to travel and to take on more volunteering options to work through clubs, societies, and do several different roles whilst you're studying with us. All of this creates a package of a graduate who is independent but can work within teams, can be critical, develop understanding and analysis skills, whichever field they go into. And that's the kind of thing that, again, employers love. All the while, you get to enjoy your student experience, whether you're staying at home or moving away. You still get to get involved with other students with different passions through clubs, societies, and generally get to explore Leeds, which, as the third biggest city in the UK and one of the biggest student populations in the UK, is a fantastic place to study. So, Leeds Beckett, more on us. There's lots of different benchmarks that we hit. There's loads of different awards that we've won over the years that we can be proud of and shout about. But I've distilled it down to the main ones that I think are important to students who are just starting to look into why they want to go to higher education. Our history dates back to 1824, nearly 200 years, all the way back to when we were the Leeds Mechanics Institutes. And ever since then, through different amalgamations, different styles of colleges that we've merged with, our course provision has always been more vocational and more designed for the upskilling of the people of Leeds and the job market. Yes, we have got a number of great academic and research focused academic schools, but we've always been focused on that vocational aspect and getting a job. That's why, again, you can get placements with almost every single one of our courses. We have plenty of study abroad options and that volunteering option as well. We have a diverse student community with around 24,000 students studying with us in Leeds physically. You have a large number of people joining us. So it can seem daunting for some students when they first join. However, on the next slide, you'll see that we're made up of 11 academic schools, and within those schools and individual courses, it wouldn't be surprising if you find yourself on a course with, say, 50 people. Because we are a large community, it does mean, however, that we then do have the better facilities for our sports, our social spaces, our student union, because they serve the best part of 27,000 people. And say back to the employability figure. From last year, the Delhi stats show that 97% of our graduates, our UK graduates, were employed or in further study within 6 months. And that is a credit to not just the volunteering and the placements, but also the course design, the idea of actually developing these more applied skills throughout your course. The TEF award, for those of you that haven't heard of TEF before, this is the assessment of our teaching quality. So we are assessed against government standards, and we've been awarded a silver model to show that we have got very good teaching, and that's across our course provision. And finally, the QS Stars International ranking, 4 out of 5 stars we were awarded in 2017. Again, a very good score and a good benchmark. So the academic schools that we have here at Leeds Beckett University, all listed on the screen now, whether you're interested into your arts, your built environment, your social sciences, your clinical, your sport, law, there's a number of different schools, but within those schools, again, we draw down to a number of different courses in there. Some schools have larger course provisions. So in the sport area, sports, exercise, science tends to be very popular. In business, the business management is the more popular course. But there's lots of more little niche subjects in each school as well. So within the arts, you might find only 15 people on the landscape architecture and design course. It means incredible one-to-one teaching and better graduate prospects when you're looking in the job market. So it's really important to know your course inside and out, where it's placed within the university, to make sure it's the right kind of setup for you. Because with over 150 different courses that we have on offer at Leeds Beckett, there is almost something for anyone out there. Whilst we have that many students, and it is a long 3 years for some people, once you've taken on your undergraduate studies, possibly a part-time job, you might have home commitments, you might be looking after dependents or children. It can be a lot of hard work to a degree, and that's why we're there to support you as well. We have a number of different people and different structures and policies in place to make sure you can get support when needed. We've got student services. Within there, they not only have the areas to look after your employability needs, so we do have options for you to take on additional short courses or additional training to help upskill you for your CV and interview skills. We also have extra support in the academic areas. So within the library, you have your own allocated academic librarians who are there to look after that school and that subject area. They can give you greater in-depth and knowledge on the resources from the journals, the textbooks, and the online articles as well. We can help you for those students that might have issues with money troubles, whether that's before applying, during your course, if you're struggling to budget, they're always there to help. And quite often, whatever the problem is that some students may find, it's not the first time they've dealt with it. They're experienced and they are there to help students. We also have the disability advice team. You don't necessarily have to have a registered disability to be able to receive support from them. So if you have got any concerns at all about the setup and what you may need additional support with during your studies, just get in touch and they'll be able to set up a meeting to see what they may be able to offer. The international student support, again, for those that are coming from an international background, they're there to make sure that you can get integrated within the university and make sure you get alongside everyone else on your course. And then learning skills are those that are based across the learning resources centres and in the student union. The student union are students that have been elected by students for students. They're not just the bar, which often people see when they come to an open day. The students' union are an elected grouping where they ensure there is representation and a student voice at every layer of management within the institution, that the students' voice is heard and their concerns are heard at every level. That isn't just the student union president sitting on the board of governors. You'll also find that every single course at every year level has a student representative to bring any concerns forward to the lecturing staff, and they are amazing at helping guide, change and shape the course. Then they also have additional support for men's officers, women's officers. They do campaigning on the rights of students. And then they also obviously have the sports, the societies, and then the entertainments, including Freshers Week and orientation. So they're always there to make sure you have the best experience when you're here. Getting around our campuses. So we do have 2 campuses at Leeds Beckett. We have one in the city centre and one in Headingley. For those of you that don't know the Leeds area, this is about 2.5 miles away from each other. If you were to walk it on a nice day, it takes around 50 minutes, but that main route between the 2 campuses, there are plenty of bus routes on there, and they are subsidised tickets for students as well if you're looking to do it in a bit of a hurry. Do check when you're looking at your course provisions which campus you will be on, because it does differ depending on the course you're going to be selecting. And again, for those students that are considering moving into halls of residence, you'll find the small purple circles on the screen there. Those are the placements of our halls of residence. You can see the majority of them are all based around the campuses, with 1 or 2 being slightly further out, but you won't find that you're walking any more than 25 to 30 minutes from the halls to the campus. And again, for those that might want to stay within the city campus, you can see the halls that are going to be close to where you're going to be. Those would be the areas that you really want to focus on. In between those two, we have Headingley, which again, the middle purple circle is the Emerald Headingley Stadium. That's where the Leeds Rhinos play. You have the Tykes, and often we take over for varsity as well. So we do get the privilege of being down there for a good few games, as well as some of our teaching space as well. The next slide. Again, as I say, it's not all about the lecture theatre and the assessments. It is important to make sure you enjoy yourself whilst you're at university, and there's no better way to make new friends than joining one of our clubs or sports teams. So the sports teams, because we are very focused on sport at Leeds Beckett University, we have over 40 clubs with over 80 different teams. American football, ultimate frisbee, rugby league, union football, netball, basketball. We have got a huge provision. And with that, you can see the facilities that we have on offer as well are excellent to support those students and enable them to play what they want to. That doesn't include the new Carnegie building that has just recently opened. Around £45 million put into this new investment for the Carnegie School of Sport. Some fantastic facilities in there, which again, if you do come to the open day, you'll be able to have a good look around. If sports aren't your thing, we do have our societies. Over 70 societies where groupings of students can gather who have similar interests. Traditionally, these can often be either political groups or religious groups, or they may have more of an academic slant. So if you're within law, you can join the Law Society or the Psychology Society, or there's some that are simply there for a bit of fun. So whether you want to join the Geek Culture Society, the Harry Potter Society, it's designed simply to get you to meet other like-minded people across the university. So to sum up, why Leeds Beckett? We have excellent teaching. The majority of all of our lecturing staff have been or still are relevant within the fields of study for the practical work and experience. We do our absolute best to make sure that you are work ready, whether it's with volunteering, placements, or again, that course designed to make sure we have external speakers coming in to give you real world and real current knowledge on what it is you're studying and the implications of that for your field. We can guarantee accommodation. So again, those students that are looking at moving further afield, you don't have to worry. We will make sure you have somewhere to call home when you're studying with us. And if you haven't been to Leeds before, you are in for a treat. The shopping is amazing. The live music is fantastic. Great for sport. There's always something going on. There's always a new raft of different live events going through, and there's always something new each year to explore. There's always something new opening, especially within the student scenes. We try to make sure you have excellent opportunities. As I say, study abroad options, volunteering, professional placements. There are 3 different categories that are really easy to say very quickly within a presentation, but it doesn't really give you a depth of knowledge about what they can really offer you, about the amount of time you can spend studying abroad, the different skills you develop at different institutions, the different aspects and different ways of thinking and problem solving, and just generally giving back into the community of Leeds. We are proud of being an anchor institution within Leeds and the amount of work we do to actually help develop the city. So at any point we can, we always like to give back. I say the campuses are amazing. They have a constant rolling development program to make sure you've got the best facilities available for your courses. As I said, with the Carnegie School of Sports, that's just opening now. And within the next year, we also anticipate the opening of our new arts building. The fantastic facilities. You'll have to come and see them for yourselves, or take the virtual tours. If you do go into our web pages from leedsbeckett.ac.uk, you can take the virtual tours to check out our bio labs or our clinical suites or our sports suites. Have a good look around, and when you're ready, we'll be able to see you on campus. Thank you very much for listening. Again, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to get in touch.